Generally, arbitration is a form of alternative dispute resolution that's more formal than mediation, but subject to fewer formal rules than litigation. However, a person who contractually agrees to arbitration may still challenge the enforceability of the agreement on contract law principles. In Zuver v. Airtouch Communications, the Washington Supreme Court considered whether an arbitration agreement was unenforceable based on unconscionability. In 1997, Airtouch Communications, a cell phone service provider based out of San Francisco, offered Therese Zuver a job as a sales support representative. As a condition of its offer of employment, Airtouch required Zuver to sign several agreements, including an agreement to arbitrate her disputes against the company. In addition, the arbitration agreement was a separate attachment and presented in a similar manner to each of the other agreements. The arbitration agreement included several provisions, including a confidentiality provision, a provision precluding the recovery of punitive damages, and a provision awarding attorney's fees to the prevailing party. The agreement also included a fee-splitting provision, in which the employee and employer would share in the arbitrator's fees. Further, the agreement included a severability clause that stated if one provision of the agreement was rendered unenforceable, the rest would remain intact. Ultimately, Zuver accepted Airtouch's offer and signed the agreement. 2 years later, an underlying medical condition Zuver suffered from worsened and caused her to take medical leave. Roughly 9 months later, Airtouch terminated Zuver's employment. Subsequently, Zuver sued Airtouch in state superior court for disability discrimination. In response, Airtouch answered the complaint but failed to mention the arbitration agreement. Nearly 1 year later, Airtouch moved to compel arbitration. The court granted the motion, and Zuver filed a motion for discretionary review with the Washington Supreme Court, arguing that the agreement was unenforceable because it was unconscionable. The court granted review.